Listening.
Now, I'm going to ask for your help, because to open these doorways, I need your help. So in addition to the lights being off, if you could be willing to close your eyes and enter into the darkness. And enter into the darkness, the fertile darkness. $15 billion years ago, scientists tell us, nothing was happening. Not even time and space was happening. It seems, the theory is, there was a singularity, a very minute point of energy that was just there. Can't sabe where it came from, how it happened. It's in the mystery, sacred mystery. But there was that singularity. And who knows how long those conditions existed, where there was no thing. Quantum void, vacuum, no thing, no space, no time. Fertile darkness, fertile darkness. And one of the old spiritual books says, in the beginning was the Word. It says, in the beginning was the Word. I think maybe they got that wrong. I think it was actually, in the beginning was the sound. Maybe it was Gabriel's horn. Maybe it was Charlie Parker's horn. John Coltrane's. Something's coming, boys and girls. Something's coming. Something's happening. Pay attention. And what happened? That singularity started to open and expand and expand and expand. Accelerating rate. Somehow, mysterious way, creating space and time and plasmic gas formed over billions of years into stars, huge stars. And what did? They exploded. And the intensity of that explosion, they created the building blocks, the elements for atoms, the building blocks of our Mother Earth, the building blocks of every material thing that exists in the universe through stars, the explosion of stars, spewing those building blocks out into the universe. One explosion after another, passing it on, passing it on, passing it on, down the line, passing it on to our Father Son, to our Father Son, sending its stardust down into Mother Earth and into our bodies, which are made of stardust. We're being fueled by that stardust from the gift of Father Son. And it's coming into us, and it's polishing up our stardust. It's helping to activate those codes. And the word came forward. Let there be light. Let there be light. And I'm going to do now a magic act of bringing energy, literal energy that goes back 14.5 billion years to the creation of the universe that's been passed on. One star jump to another, to another, to another, to us right now. Let there be light.
Let there be light.
Let's leave the background light off a little bit, por favor, so we can really be with this light. Taking it down. Down, down, down. So if you let your eyes go soft here, let me see if I can walk around with this baby and not drop myself or it. Bring it around. If you let your eyes go soft, you can see the beams of photons, that's what our science tells us, coming from that candle light. But that energy, that stardust that we're seeing right there, pouring down to Mother Earth and Father Son, is a transmission. It's a direct transmission of energy that goes back to the original creating wisdom power of the universe. And it's communicating. It's conscious. It's alive. Another one of my assignments was from Grandmother Guadalupe. How many years ago? I don't know, 40 years ago. Before I never heard the word global warming. She said, Father, Son, tomás, coming closer to Mother Earth. Okay, why? To wake us up. She said, you people in the north, the gringos in el norte, they've forgotten this is alive, conscious, communicating, intelligence. They've forgotten. He said, you need to go back up there and try to help your relatives to wake up and remember this is alive. And so here is a transmission from what we shall people call the spirit of the fire, Tatawari, and they say the first shaman, the first Marakami, the first shaman is Tatawari, Grandfather Fire Spirit. So here's a song coming to you from the intelligence, consciousness of this one, and what it's an opening to, bringing it through. It's coming through my body and voice, but the sources. So, open up to receive this. I'm sending you light to help you remember. I'm sending you light to hold you in love. I'm sending you light to help you remember. I'm sending you light to guide your way home. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the healer. Let love flow through thee. And whoever it occurs to in your heart to send love to, right now. Whoever it occurs to you and the gift of your awareness. So you know to use some healing light. Maybe you're here in this room, maybe you're not. I'm sending you light to help you remember. Sending you light, hold you in love. When the light gets blown out, light it again. I'm sending you light to help you remember. I'm sending you light to guide your way home. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the healer. Let love flow through thee. Let love flow, Yahweh. With help from Tatawari, I'm going to bring some smoke out of here with Tatawari's help. I can't do it without that help, but with that help I can do it. Gratitude to the spirit of the sage people, sage plants, for your medicine. Cleansing, healing, opening, sending it out to everybody. Gratitude for your life. Gratitude for your sacred lives. Blessings on your life. Blessings on your life. Blessings on your life. Oh, can't leave this on for too long. We don't want to set off the smoke alarms here. Gratitude to our ancestors. We wouldn't be here without our ancestors. And if we go back, our ancestors, far enough, no matter who our people are, where they came from, they're sitting around the sacred fire. And they know it's alive, and they're listening to its teachings. So we take a moment to give thanks to our ancestor spirits, to think about our ancestor spirits and the struggles and challenges they face to be able to pass life on from one generation to the next. Giving us our turn. Gratitude. In a moment, we're going to focus our attention on activating that gratitude to our ancestors. But I also want to bring in the importance of gratitude for the ancestors of the spirit of the land we live on. And whether they're still here physically or not, their spirit's here. And here in Marin County, we know it's the Mojo and the Miwok people, and I want to give special gratitude to Lanny Pinola and Esther and Grandfather Bun and Irene. Remember you here, Mojo Miwok people who took a lot of our Waupun people in and brought us in the ceremony in their sacred roundhouse. And the word, it's always good to wherever land you live, it's a good thing to do in terms of honoring ancestor spirits, which helps open the attunement for being able to be on the receiving end of guidance, wisdom guidance for your life. Learn how to say thank you in the indigenous language of the land where you live. And for me here, for us here, Yahweh is the way Brother Lanny said, Yahweh. There's other ways of saying it, Yahweh. It's good to learn how to say thank you in the language of the land where you live. Home for you, ancestor spirit. So I want to invite you to just drop in for a few moments here and reflect on the truth. Whenever we put our energy into something that's true, we polish up our stardust, we get juicier, we get stronger, it strengthens our immune system. Put our energy thoughts into believing something that's not true, it's like putting salt on a slug or something. Dropping a load of shit on something that's beautiful, our sacred worthy being. So reflect on, I invite you to reflect on the fact we would not be here without our ancestors, all they went through to pass life on hundreds of thousands of years to give us our turn. We send gratitude through time and space to our ancestors. Too late to befriend our ancestor spirits. And in fact, if we don't befriend our ancestor spirits, we have ghosts. When we take the time to open those connections and send gratitude from our hearts for our ancestor spirits, and we send healing energy to them in the spirit world. We go through the history of our people, whatever our peoples are. There have been times that our people were treated very badly, hurt very badly by others. And our ancestors, most likely, treated others very badly at some time. So it's never too late to send healing through time and space, to send gratitude, and open that doorway of attunement, of connection with our ancestor spirits. And what are our ancestor spirits? What do you think they want for us in our lives? What would you say, everybody? Live long now, yeah. All right, answering your quiz already. Love, somebody said?
Love, happiness.
Yeah, yeah.
Connection.
Yeah.
Attitude.
They'd want us to have the best lives we could have. Right? They want us to have the best lives we could have. So our ancestor spirits are calling to us toward that. And the pressures of evolution, what's happening in the world, and all the different levels, the social world, the environmental world, so much divisiveness and polarization and discord and violence, it's just... So we're being called. We are being called to pull a plug, an unconsciously conditioned, wetiko-infected, malignant, egophrenia meanness, first reality dream. We're being called to pull the plug on that, which is based on the false perception of separation. Pull the plug on that. And open up to choose wisely and co-create with spirit, with the great mystery, with the wisdom power of the universe, a new way of living. It's based on the understanding of what I call the 3 A's. Allaha, an ancient word, spoken in the language of Jesus' times. It means unity, sacred unity, how everything's connected. We're all connected. There's no such thing as a separate thing. Allaha, sacred unity. Aloha, cosmic love, essence of our being. Cosmic love. Don't have to pray for it. Don't have to make it happen. Gift of grace. Gift of grace. Comes with the issue of the belly button as a human being. Allaha, sacred unity. Aloha, cosmic love. And alegria, 3 A's, to live with joy, to live with joy. Pull the plug on the causes of suffering, to co-create a new way of being, of living, of relating, of meeting our needs based on the understanding of sacred unity. That the essence of our being is infinite, unconditional love, which is what that first LSD vision opened me up to, the existence of that I didn't even know believed. Infinite, unconditional love. We're called, well, let me step back one. There's a model for that kind of living, that kind of way of holding a reality paradigm, and it's indigenous wisdom. It's indigenous wisdom ways. Because the people have been living intimately with nature, paying attention to how it works. If they didn't do that and learn how it works and how to be in harmony with it, wouldn't survive, we wouldn't be here. Our people learned that and lived that. The understanding of how there's no such thing as a separate thing. There's no such thing as a thing. Everything's connected. We're all related. We're all connected. What we give to another, to the earth, to the animals, we give to our children. We pass it on down the line. And this understanding of reality, fortunately the last 20 years or so, is backed up by particle physics. It says the same thing. Ain't no such thing as a thing, honey. It's an illusion. It's all energy dancing in different patterns for a period of time. And then when that pattern finishes, it dissolves and merges back into the infinite field from which it came. We're called by evolutionary pressures, by our ancestors, to show up as, and this is the term that comes through me, wisdom warriors. Wisdom warriors. Wisdom warriors. Grown by a psychedelic, shamanic path to transformation. Grown by a psychedelic, shamanic path to transformation. So let me tell you what those words mean. You all know words are tricky and we don't have different meanings to them. Wisdom. What is wisdom? Well, it seems to me wisdom has something to do with being able to read the waves of information of what's happening in any given situation. Learn how to read the waves of information about what's happening. Because within those waves and that information is an understanding of how to be in harmony with those waves. You can't change the waves, the currents of the ocean, the winds. You can't change it. But we can learn how to set our sails, right? To connect with those waves and get that information and guidance about how to be in relationship to what's happening in a way that has the potential to open up the doorway, to bring through fullest blossoming, greatest good, whatever the challenge is. But we got to get the waves, the information. So wisdom is learning how to open ourselves to get that information. And that's not going to come from ego consciousness. That's not going to come from ego consciousness. It's all about me, what can I get from you? It's not going to come that way. You have to let that go. It's like pulling the plug. So we can respond to the challenges of our time and the challenges of our lives in ways that opens that doorway to bring through fullest blossoming greatest good. To me, that's wisdom. It's not about differentiating from knowledge, how much you can know in facts. Wonderful. I love to accumulate it, learn more. But wisdom is about relationship. Wisdom warrior. What do I mean by warrior? Well, when I was young, raised in a macho culture, physical violence, then the pathology of men's conditioning, state, whatever it is, I'm responsible for it. I'm responsible to learn how to work with it, all the different levels that exist, and how to create skillful relationship. So I'm not at the mercy of unconditioned programming, but able to access the wisdom consciousness from flowing in from the universe. So shamanic, Terence talked about shamanic. It's not a religion. It's a set of practices that's embedded in an understanding of the reality of nature, and the nature of reality, the sacred unity, the interconnectedness, the interwovenness of everything. The different practices. Like just the simple act of lighting a candle, something we've all done. You know, how many times in our life have we lit a candle? But how many times have we lit a candle recognizing that what I'm doing here is a cosmic act of power? I'm opening a doorway to bring through energy that goes back to the beginning of the universe 15 billion years ago, and bringing it right through where I'm living. And so then I can open to it and polish up my stardust. That understanding and learning some sage, make a good home for Tatuwari. That's bringing it into a shamanic practice. What I'm really doing with lighting a candle, it's a cosmic act, magical power. I can do whatever I want to. Wisdom, we're called to be wisdom warriors. Growing ourselves through psychedelic, shamanic path to transformation. Let that settle in. That's the call. That's the call. Pulling the plug on the unconsciously conditioned, Tico infected, malignant, ego-freeniac meanness, virtual reality dream, pulling the plug, opening. There's a cultivation work of who and what we are. So there's a song that came to me. I'm driving down the road to a medicine circle retreat, and I'm listening to this CD from a physicist, and he makes a statement that intellectually I already knew, wasn't any big revelation. But for whatever reasons, the combination of dynamics that were happening at the time is similar to Saul on his way to Damascus on the donkey, and he got lit up and fell off the donkey, and it was like a whole new ballgame for him. So it's a cloudy day, clouds are out, it's kind of gray out, and I'm listening to the radio driving, just opening myself up to serve with the retreat I'm going to. And he makes a statement, we are all stardust brought to life. We're all stardust brought to life. And at that moment, a beam of light came out of the clouds and just came right through the windshield and just like, bong. I said, holy shit, man, that's right. I'm stardust from the sun. I'm made of stardust. And it came to the earth and through the plants and other. I'm life. I'm living life. I'm stardust brought to life. And it was so blowing out my fuse box with the power of it all. I said, I gotta pull over the side of the road. Just be with this. There's something happening here. So I pulled off the road, and what happened was what I call a transmission from the Starlight Ohana. I've got to pick up my drone for this one. I'm getting hot wearing this coat. I'm going to take it off. It's cool what he did. Ron gave this to me a long time ago. I was 3 inches bigger and 20 pounds heavier. Now it's drooping over me. Part of aging and shrinking. Eyes going, ears going. All kinds of things going. So, we call for the ancestors from evolutionary pressures to show up. Wisdom warriors grow our ability through psychedelic, shamanic path to transformation to show up as wisdom warriors. So this starlight transmission from this starlight ohana came through as like light, like a flashlight through light, showing a way how to do that. Stardust brought to earth. We are stardust brought to birth. We are stardust brought to life. To shine, shine, shine. To shine, shine, shine. Do you know why you're here? Filled with light and love so dear. Do you know why you're here? To shine, shine, shine. So polish up the light you are. Come so far from the star. Polish up the light you are. To shine. shine. Now, how to polish a star so bright. Hold it up into the light. No more fussing, no more fight. Hold it into the light. And then you shine on into darkness. Shine on into night. Shine on when you're hurting. Shine with all your might. It's all about the wisdom that lives in you and me. Doesn't cost a penny. It's absolutely free. When we get its message, there's no place left for fear. We are all together here. Thank Stardust for its message. Thank stars for bringing it through. It's a gift from the cosmos, straight to me and you. Hey, hey, it's a gift to remember. It's a gift to see the truth. Stardust, stardust. Stardust is our life force. It gives us a great big boost. So what stops you from shining? Is it judgment, fear or shame? Whatever clog your pipes, well, you give it a name, and then you look it in the eye, and then you let it go, and you play a new game with stardust as your claim. For your light is needed in today's stressful world. Star that you came from, shot from afar, and it's sending you straight to remember who you are. Stand up and be counted, be your own star. The dust of you is magic. Let it flow, let it grow. The stardust you're made from just wants to know, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Then let's go. Your light is forgiving. It's all up to you. Today's the day you're living to bring your light through. Growing light of love will help you to see. Growing light of love will help you to see that deep down inside the light's in you and me. So let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Open your heart and be kind. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Right now, ahora, right now is always the best time to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Open your heart and be kind. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Right now, always the best time. Oi. So those claps are rightfully going to the Starlight Ohana, who brought through that transmission. That's a direct transmission from the Starlight Ohana. What's in your heart and your mind? Right now, it's always the best time. Growing light of love will help you to see deep down inside the lights in you and me. The light of love. So I want to share with you, how did I come to this connection, this valuation of this kind of love, agape love that I'm talking about? How did I come to that? Out of the darkness and constriction and the hurt and grief and the sadness, the self-pity and the stories I was telling myself about my father's death and creating more suffering on top of my loss, all on top of the volcano of the unresolved grief. How did I come to love for that? Well, this speaks to like the teaching, what I call the teachings, testings of the weaving of the sacred web, the coyote teachings and testings of the weaving of the sacred web. My introduction to the existence of unconditional infinite love started with that first LSD experience 60 years ago. So I'll briefly tell you about that. After I went to close the window and the curtains were bellowing, and the window was closed, I lied back down and just surrendered, just let go into the river. That was the understanding. Bless you. Just release. Let go. Don't try to control anything. Just let yourself fall into the current. And these colors started happening on the ceiling. My rational mind said, there's a white stucco ceiling, and well, there must be minuscule little minerals or something in it. And it's, you can't see with regular vision, and the LSD is just bringing them out and just kind of spotlighting them on steroids or something. So, okay, fine, I'm watching that for a while. And then it begins to coalesce in the image. In the image. And all of a sudden, I'm in a crowd, standing in a crowd, a whole bunch of crowd of people. And this was a couple of thousand years ago. And there's something happened in the front of the crowd, and so, what's going on, man? I want to know what's going on. Walk up to the, get up to the front of the crowd, and there's three dudes strung out on the cross, crucified. And I see that one of the guys is Jesus. So in my mind state, at that age, somebody's driving spikes into me, I'm going to get an Uzi and waste them. That's the energy that comes up inside of me. All of a sudden, my energy from the crowd is brought into Christ's body. And whether you believe, you're Christian, you believe in Jesus or not, a historical figure, spiritual, whatever your beliefs are, it's something in our consciousness is a symbol of infinite unconditional love. More people who dress to be good Christians live that way, we'd be a hell of a lot better off if we had it today. So all of a sudden, my energy is like, I'm brought into Christ's body, where this is happening, this horrible thing's happening. And I'm there with my rage, destroyed, the cause of my suffering. And I hear this voice come out of Jesus who says, "Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do." Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. Not only do I hear the voice, but I feel the energy, the consciousness from which that voice is coming from, that recognizes those people causing the pain. We don't cause pain to others unless we're asleep. We've forgotten the truth of who we are, that we're sacred with the luminous being. So if we're causing pain to other people, it's coming out of our own pain. We're asleep. If we're awake, we know if I'm putting pain in that person, it's going to come back to me, or my kids, or my family, because they're not suffering. That's part of being awake. So I feel I'm experiencing, as compared to the consciousness that I'm in, vengeance, destruction, kill the bad guys. A little bit of that going on in the world today. All of a sudden, I'm feeling, not only is this consciousness of this being recognizing that people causing the pain are asleep, he's concerned about them. Are you kidding me, man? He's concerned about them. Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing. So I feel the existence, the presence of a love that can do that under those kind of conditions. Didn't know that existed. Blew up a fuse box. That was my first introduction to that kind of love. A number of years later, again on a, let me just make sure I got this accurate here. Yes, it was on a pilgrimage, maybe 2, 3, 4 years later with the Huichols, 300-mile pilgrimage from the mountains and homes through backcountry Mexico to the 5,000-foot plateau desert where their sacred peyote medicine grows. And we're sitting around the sacred fire, the shaman and the rituals, and a beautiful night, the moon's out, and we've taken some of the peyote medicine, and all of a sudden, there's Christ on the cross again. The spikes are being driven in. And I see that when I catch myself in making a negative judgment about myself or someone else, a spike falls out of Christ's arm. And this beatific light and love and compassion and gratitude, just like a light, just fills up the entire desert. Oh, that's what judgment does. Oh. Love is forgiving, releasing the judgment. Now, it's important here for me to differentiate judgment about behavior versus being. I judge all kinds of behavior. It's hurtful, it's prejudicial, it's racial, it's discriminating, it's hurtful, that's not okay. Not okay with any of that, or behavior that follows. But don't judge the being of the other person. Because then you're closing your heart. And you're causing yourself pain, violence, and separation. Don't judge the being of another person. And you can help release more spikes every time you let go of a judgment, a negative judgment about yourself or someone else. You catch it in your awareness and you let it go. Without further judgment about yourself, about that terrible thought you had, or what a bad person you were to have that thought or feeling. You let it go with compassion for your humanness. You just let it go. The spike falls out of Christ's body, and this beatific light lights up the desert. That was my second experience with that kind of love. A few years later, with a Mazateca curandera, Doña Julieta in the spirit world, remembering you here too, gratitude, sitting in a sacred fire. And she has on her altar something at a certain point when the medicine comes off, and she works with tea on a column, working with mushroom medicine. There's this beam of light coming out of something that she's got on the altar, and it's coming into my heart, and it's just blowing it open and taking me into a state of ecstasy. It's just doing me, I'm just totally digging it. But I'm curious, so what's that mojo up in the altar that's like behind all of it? Where's this coming from? So I went and didn't want to be disrespectful, so I went and asked the curandera, is it okay if I go up to the altar and see what's there? And she said, yeah, go ahead, come on. She called me Tomás. She said, tease me around, Tomás. I said, go ahead, Tomás. So I go up to the altar and I look at it, and there's like this little card like that size. And what is it? It's a picture of the Virgen de Guadalupe. And the other side of that card is the source of this infinite love that's pouring out through that image into the room and just blowing up my fuse box. And I can feel, I hear the transmission through that light of love coming through that card, coming from this energy source in the universe as I was experiencing then, Virgen de Guadalupe, sacred goddess, pouring into me with the information. There's nothing you can do, nada. There's nothing you can do in this life or I will stop loving you. My love for you, infinite. It's not based on what you do or you don't do. My love for you is infinite. There's nothing you can do that I'm going to stop loving you. Boom. Blowing me open. Teaching me about the love that I didn't grow with knowing about in my culture. So the last one I want to share with you about how I come to this love relationship with love. I'm on Huichol pilgrimage out in Wirikuta, the desert, the Holy Land. We're hunting the medicine. And I come across a beautiful grandfather. And in the middle of it is something I've never seen before. It's this beautiful flower. Beautiful pink, white, tender, gorgeous flower. And my first thought was, oh man, that is so beautiful. I'm going to take that home with me. I've got to pick that up and bring that home with me. That's my first emotional response to that beauty. Dude, number one, the flower's going to wilt if you do that. Number two, you're going to have to go through customs, going back in the United States, and because of the insanity of that culture, it has these laws that says this plant that comes from Mother Earth is illegal. You can't. If you eat that, or you have that, we're going to put you in jail. Why? Because it's so threatening to the mainstream paradigm of the belief of separation. So, okay, that's not going to work. Yeah, I'm not okay. Damn. Letting go, but not letting go. And then it comes to me, I know what I can do. I can eat it. I'm a primal dude, what can I say? But again, I wanted to be respectful. I didn't know if that was okay or not. So I went and asked an elder. And I asked him, would it be okay to one of these cactuses, peyote cactuses, has this beautiful flower in the middle of it. She said, that's a tutu, flowers. Tutu's a horticultura. He said, yeah. Give thanks, of course, and then go ahead and eat it, take it in. So I'll go back and do that, and reverentially I'll bring up the cactus itself. You always leave a couple of 3 inches at the bottom, so the bone, they say the bones can regenerate. You never take the whole thing out. You're always thinking about next generations. So cut it up, prayer of thanksgiving, and I eat that flower, the peyote, and because as you're out collecting, after the shaman takes you through a ceremony where he blesses all the medicine that you found and he gives you the first piece of it. And then as you go out to continue to hunt the medicine, gathering it up from ceremonies and to bring that to the village for the people that didn't go on the pilgrimage so they can use it throughout the year for their ceremonies. So after night comes, we've been out hunting all day. We go back to Tatawati's there at the center of our circle. There's also a rattlesnake on this particular one when we pulled in with our bands and found the place where we're going to bring in Tatawati. There was a big old rattlesnake sitting there curled up on the outskirts of our circle. We were there, I don't know, 3 days, I guess about 3 days. The rattlesnake was there the whole time. And then when we were left, when we were leaving, 3 days later, the rattlesnake left also. The regional people, rattlesnake is a protector, among other things. So, we're sitting around Tatawati and the shaman and singing the songs and we're eating the medicine. The idea is you can eat as much medicine as you want. It was so ironic. This was the time of Reagan was president. And Nancy Reagan, that was that saying, just say no. While she's smoking a cigarette and drinking a coffee, just say no to drugs. Just say no to drugs. So I'd heard that, on the radio or something in the airport when we were leaving. We fly down to Mexico. Just say no. Now, I'm sitting with a group of Huichol extended family people, elders and children and teenagers and babies and little kids and the whole mishpucha. Everybody's there, extended family, 20, 30 people. And I've got people Now I'm in my 80th year. This is a long time ago. So I've got people to me who are really old, 70s and 80s, spiritual elders, saying they'd see me maybe hesitating with a bite of peyote. It's not a pleasant taste. It's not a pleasant taste. It's a little bit of an ordeal in you. So they'd see me struggle, and they'd come over and say, yes, eat some more. Come, that's Yiddish, yes. That's my grandmother. Come, eat more. It'll help you know. And it just struck me, just juxtaposition. The N-O from my Eurocentric culture to the K-N-O-Ws. You want to learn more about what's important. You'll learn about life and death and being here and how to empower your ability to find and walk your heart path to completion. Eat some more medicine. Eat some more to help you know. Okay? I'm working on it. Eating it. Then at one point, later on in the night, the Eureka, the doorway opens, and I see a vision of that flower that I ate. I see it in my corazon. I see it in my heart. There's that beautiful pink flower. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Thank you. Oh. And then I notice that flower starts to multiply. And out of that one flower comes another flower. And out of that comes another flower. And another one here, and another. And my whole heart was filled up with these beautiful flowers of love. But it didn't stop in my heart. The power, which was, let's say, great-grandmother growth, the Kutsinakwe, with the help of that sacred medicine and a respectful ceremony, was growing something that wanted me to see and understand. So the flowers filled up my heart, but they kept coming more and more and more. So they flowed out of my heart. They started to flow through my chest cavity. And they started to flow through my back and up into my face and my brain and down my spine. And my whole body was filled up with these beautiful flowers, these love flowers, just taking me into a state of ecstasy. And the voice, we wanted you to really see and understand what it feels like when you open yourself up, the essence of who and what you are, the infinite light and love that you are. Doesn't stop. I get it. They keep coming. My whole body's filled up. There's no more room. Now what? You can say that out to other people. That's what you can do. Just start sending those tutus, those love tutus, out to other people. Everybody who comes into your mind, whoever comes into your mind, just send a stream of those beautiful pink, white tutus, love flowers. So sending some of those seed energies from Orikuta in support of nurturing those tutus inside of you to fullest blossom, greatest good. So those are some experiences that I had that brought this cynical, atheistic, bitter, self-pitying, angry young man into an opening of experiencing something that prior to that you talked to him about it. When I read about it, when I was preparing for my first LSD experience, and I hear about and read about these spiritual experiences people were having, I thought to myself, I was an atheist. Religion's for weak people who can't handle reality. It's an opiate of the masses. And I'm interested in LSD because I'm interested in the unconscious. I'm interested in the mind. And so when I read and hear about people talking about spiritual acts, that's bullshit, man. I just want to hear about I'm working with the unconscious. So that's how I came to this love affair I'm having with love. The flowers, the tutus are very kuta. Now, how did I come into the vision quest? The other perceptual lens that other original search engine going out into nature by yourself in solitude and denying yourself the pleasure of food and just staying in a small place for periods of days and nights and just paying attention to what happens in you, what happens around you. How did I come to that?